You're watching Masters in Trading Live with Jonathan Rose.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Rose and welcome to Masters in Trading Live. At Masters in Trading Live, I get on here each day the market's open, go over the market, share some thoughts, share some trades. Once in a while we'll share our trade of the day. So what are we doing here? Today is our third day of our 3-day of divergence classes. So divergences, also called pairs. Some people refer to it as delta neutral trading. It's not exactly delta neutral trading, but when we do a pair trade, we're looking to do one thing against something else. I've traded for 27 years. It's the only thing I've done professionally. Every single stop along my trading journey, I have traded some kind of divergences. So that's why we've been sharing over these last 3 days. The first day, what is a divergence? I explained why we trade divergences, what is a divergence, and exactly what we should be looking for. I also showed you how we can find those trades. In the second day, we talked about my 5 favorite divergences. I went over those yesterday. And then today, as promised, I'm going to share a divergence trade with you, and we're going to do that right now. I got the chat open. Thanks everybody for joining in the chat. Good morning, always my favorite part of the day, coming in early saying good morning to everybody. So let's get this party started. You can see my golf wear too. My kid's going to the Ohio State. He's going to be a freshman. Super excited. We're playing golf later in the day. So that is why I look like a golfer today. Let me fuel up and we are ready to go. Okay. Here are our 3 divergence days that we had. If you go on YouTube, it's just the previous days. I certainly encourage you to watch them. I think those videos are about 20 minutes each. And then on the bottom, feel free to ask any questions that you have. So day 1, day 2, and then this will be under day 3. This will be the thumbnail for day 3. As I said, we're going to share a trade with you today, but I wanted to share this because our community is just becoming really, really awesome. So Roger, I want to drop a line and say thank you for the whole MIT Discord community. Since signing up for the service in March, I've doubled my subscription fees. So congrats, Roger. That is awesome. But the best part of that is that he's continuing to learn. Education mitigates the risk. It's the most important thing for you. So I wanted to share that with you. Deward here, yet another winning trade. He shared that yesterday. Little 91% gain in AA. Thanks many to the community. And then we got this yesterday. I'm currently listening to your latest divergence trading opportunity. Those are the videos. I've discovered after listening to you for a few months. Thank you. I'm going to tell my wife about this one. My positive personality that attracts people to you. You do not come across as I am the greatest. And look at all that I have done. I am definitely not getting on here to show you how smart I am. I am getting on here to show you that I'm different and answer any questions that you have and get everybody away from just crossing their fingers with technical analysis. You guys are smarter than that. Let's dig deeper. Kate posted it yesterday afternoon, a trade in TSM. Why I wanted to highlight this, crazy numbers. I don't know any other service besides Masters in Trading where every day people are taking triples. Quite amazing. Certainly amazing enough to get a glockenspiel. All right, I wanted to go over that, a little selfish because I just wanted to share the lovely things that are happening in our community, but now you guys came here for the trade, so let's get to it. We talk about divergence trades. When we talk about divergence trades, there is usually a leader. Yesterday we talked about the crack spread. The crack spread's the profit margin for all the refinery stocks. So wherever Mama Bird goes, who's the crack spread, all the other little chicks are going to follow. That is a divergence trade. July 3rd, in our Masters in Trading Challenge, I'm going to give a shout out to Stu. Stu is a new member. We haven't even really met, but Stu shared this and asked about SMR. SMR. He likes it because the historical volatility is 1.17. The IV right now is 0.97, so it's inexpensive. Very, very cool. Okay, inexpensive SMR. This morning, I jumped in, Stu. Great minds think alike. I think you're really going to like today's topic because today's topic is going to be SMR. SMR, small modular reactors. These are the next generation of nuclear reactors. They are smaller, safer, they're more flexible than your traditional nuclear power plants. Many SMRs need a special type of fuel called high assay low enriched uranium, which is enriched more than regular nuclear fuel. The only company that's a pure play for this high assay low enriched uranium is LEU. SMR, companies that specialize in SMR, can't operate without the fuel. LEU makes the fuel that SMR companies need. So there is a ticker symbol, SMR. And there's a separate ticker symbol, Centrus Energy, LEU. Two names that we follow closely. LEU we've been following for a lot longer. Look at a chart going back to the beginning of 2024. Now, if you go back in our training, what have we talked about? Don't look at these as two companies. Look at them as one company. Look at them as an industry. Now, the cool thing about this industry is it's incredibly, incredibly volatile right now. Why? Because it's a young industry, right? I like to say we want to put our common sense hat on. If these two lines are going to stay together, I think it's safe to say when the white gets expensive relative to the blue, maybe we want to short the white and get long the blue. It looks like that trade would have worked out smashingly well right there. Same thing here. They break apart. They come together. Well, what's going on right now? Amid the volatility, SMR is selling off. LEU sold off as well, but LEU sold off because they just offered a whole bunch of stock to raise money. That's why LEU sold off, but has since recovered. The trade that I like is I like getting long SMR. Now you could get short LEU as well. I don't want to do that trade. The only trade that I want to do in this divergence is I want to play for the long side of SMR, and I want to do that right now. I don't want to short LEU. That's just personal preference. So now I'm going to move over to SMR, and I'm going to share a specific trade. Before I move to the SMR options, does anybody have any questions about why this trade exists? Does anybody have any questions about this correlation? You can see just by the chart, they're correlated, except LEU's up 317% over this time period, and SMR is up 200%. That's why the trade idea I'm about to share is going to be an SMR. Any questions, guys, before I move on to the actual trade idea? I'm going to write it on the screen so you guys can all see. But any questions before I do that? Looking at a divergence between two highly correlated names in LEU and SMR. Thomas T. Question, how do you get the chart? I'm on Thinkorswim. I could teach you how to build that chart in seconds. For anybody on Thinkorswim, guys? little overview on how to quickly build that chart. SMR. Go ahead and hit this beaker here. Search for comparison. Comparison. Boom. And then we're just waiting. I'm going to pull up a trade idea of SMR. We have LEU right here. Apply. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. SMR against LEU. And boy, does this look nice right now. It looks like Pac-Man opening his mouth, ready to eat this thing. Okay? Yeah, Thomas, my pleasure. My pleasure. All right. And James is saying, just in TradingView, you can build charts the same way. Before I get to that, okay. SMR. I'm going to pin this here so I can write under it. I want to be in August, guys. I want to be in August. And the trade that I'm looking at is I am looking at the 40-50 call spread. So I want to buy the 40s. See if I can just write this down here. So let's buy the 40 strike calls. And then I want to sell the 50 strike calls. The 40s, let's say we can do for $3.90. The 50s we're going to sell. Let's say we could sell those for $1.90. Your risk in this trade will be $200 per one lot. $200 of risk. The most that we can make is going to be $8. So we're risking 200 to potentially make 800 if and when SMR trades above 50. Okay? August, call spread, SMR, buying the 40 strike, $3.90, selling the 50 strike, $1.90 estimate. So it's a debit, and then this is going to be a credit. And you have $2 of risk. The most that you can make is the difference between those strikes, $10, less the $2 that we paid. SMR, bullish, call spread, 40-50 call spread. Does anybody have questions on that trade? You may have to listen back to it. The August 40-50 call spread, we're buying the 40 strike in August. We're selling the 50 strike in August. The first trade is a debit. The second trade is a credit. We're trying to do that trade for about $2. That's $200 of risk for a one lot, $2,000 of risk for a 10 lot. The most that we can make is the difference between the 40 and 50 strike. That's $10 less the $2 that we paid. Okay? Remember, this is 3 days of Divergence classes, guys. So I encourage you to please watch those previous videos so you understand exactly how we're doing this trade. I'll also offer up that we just opened our brand new Divergence program. And you can learn all about that program if you just go to mastersintrading.com/Divergence Trader 2025. Let's consider that your homework for the weekend, guys. Divergence Trader 2025. It's an hour video. It explains exactly how we're doing our brand new Divergence program and how we look at these trades. To go into your questions, Aaron's question, why so far out of the money? You can do a trade further in the money if you like. Just pull up a chart. Yeah, Aaron, tough question for me. I can only share what I like. I mean, that's a good question. In Discord, guys, if you're in Discord, you can talk about the different levels and prices and everything. But overall, all I can really do is get up here and share what I like for you guys. SMR. Dave, really good question. Any standard look back period when you're looking for divergences? Let's go to a divergence chart that I have. I like this marine shipping. So what this is, guys, this is right now with so much nonsense going on between so much political unrest and global unrest. All this talk about the possibility of closing the Strait of Hormuz or making it more difficult for shipping companies to get through the Strait of Hormuz. That's why we are looking at all the global shippers. These are incredibly volatile right now. So, Dave, to answer your question, whenever I'm looking at a divergence, I want the most amount of data first. So I'll usually maybe go to 5 years. And then I'll just start to get a lay of the land. What's been going on? Right away, this tells me that ZIM is certainly the most volatile of all these different shippers, right? The white one is ZIM. If the other ones look really nicely correlated, if I take out ZIM, the other ones, yeah, maybe not as much. Let me put ZIM back in. So once I do it 5 years, just to get a kind of lay of the land, then I'll just drill in. Then I'll go 3 years, then I'll go 1 year, and keep going lower until I figure something out or find some opportunity. Okay, Dave, good question. We have a position in the metals company that is absolutely destroying. I love this trade. I think we talked about this with all of you guys as well, the metals company. Bullish, bullish, bullish. I don't know. This was fun, guys. 3 days of divergence training. Hopefully everybody liked that. I really do like that trade in SMR. That is a trade that we'll be actively talking about in our Discord community as well. So as far as questions of like, how do you manage a trade? When do you add in the trade? Why'd you go far out? Why'd you go this month? Why'd you go that month? These are all active conversations that happen in the Discord as well. Cool. All right, my friends. Have an awesome weekend. Happy July 4th to everybody in the US that celebrates. Everybody in All Access, you guys sit tight. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching, everybody.